Hello from wherever you're watching us across the world. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Yvonne Tiwachke. By now you know what I'm about. I'm a broadcaster, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a girlfriend, and I'm a sister's keeper. And of course, you know, Kuti, I always come here with some people I'm with.
Sisters, I'm back. I know I missed Ask a Man. Guys, what an episode. But I'm Nyaradzo Makombe, and you know I'm a strategic communicator, I'm a broadcaster, and I'm your sister. So today we're going to have a lovely episode. But guess what? We got guys in the house. It's going to be amazing.
Look who's back. Mr. C is back. Feel free to introduce yourself, Mr. C.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me. I thought I hadn't done a great job the last time, but anyway, it seems like I did. So thank you once again for having me on Sisters Keeper. Of course, my name is Ruimbo Chakureka. I am I've got a lot of things that I do. A marketing consultant. I am also a sports commentator, sportscaster, broadcaster as well. And of course, I'm a minister of the Word of God. And we are here to talk about those things. And
Are you
I
not
believe
a
today's-
husband and a
Me?
father?
Okay, well, as I said, the profile is long. So I am also a wonderful husband. I believe I'm a wonderful husband. So I'm a wonderful husband to a wonderful wife. We've got 2 kids. I've got daughters, so they're also sisters keepers. So I look after them. So I'm a
We
sisters
love
keeper.
that.
Lovely.
And today, to add on to the panel, because you came into the comment section, particularly on TikTok, amanga makawanda. No. My comments anga kawandira ku Facebook with over 600 comments. People saying, please continue. We need part 2 and 3. And we need to hear perspectives from a man's mind. So we thought, and we looked around, we said, no, man. There's a man we know who would
this
be a
man.
perfect addition to this panel, who is speaking into modern marriages. So we said, let's get this man who's just about to introduce himself. Sir,
Hi, how are you? If you see me here, then you know, sisters, you're in safe hands. Apostle Dr. Joe Daniels, here live and direct.
we
Thank
love
you so
that.
much for inviting me here as
he's
well.
a husband, he's a father to many people. You know, he's an apostle. And yes, tonight, these guys are sisters keepers to keep us. So the first question we asked them last week, or rather we asked Mr. C, takavunza isusu kuti tinenge vasikana vakuramba vachititi sei zvichizonzi mukadzi munhu ngaanamatire marriage yake murume basa rake chaiye chairi raanenge achimboita rinenge rirei. And we opened a can of worms, and there are questions that you guys sent us, and we're going to delve right straight into them. Pane nyaya yeprovision yakataurwa nevasikana, poita nyaya dzemari nedzimwe dzakawanda-wanda. Saka tikati tingotangira ipapo tingoiti nepadumbu nyaya yacho. Nai Apostle, totangira kwamuri kana kuti tombotangira kuna Mr. C. Amen. Anenge adaira. What does provision mean for a man in today's economy, in today's marriage? Varume vari kufanira kuprovida sei ende kusvika papi? Zvoreva here kuti inini zvangu ndogara zvangu, even mari dzizvo zvisiri kukwana, maschool fees haasi kubatana? What does it really look like?
Amazing question. Ndogara zvangu kumba here. Yeah, kana zvichiita, if possible, you can stay at home and earn a salary from your husband.
I like this man already.
Urongobhadhara kuita mukadzi kumba. But with the current economy at the moment, I think kuti most people have mistaken the word provision as far as men is concerned. What is he providing? I believe a man is a provision of a vision.
Yes.
Okay.
Murume anoprovide a vision.
All right.
Then mukadzi family woteera. So where there's a vision, remember the word submission. It means a woman should put herself under the mission of the husband.
Yeah.
So women don't submit to the men, they submit to the mission. So no mission, no submission.
Okay. Saka zviri kutotangira pa kuti muono wake
Yes.
chii?
Yes. It
Okay.
has to be vision in a clarity. And I'm sure kana vision in a clarity towards a madam, toda kuvaka. In 2 years' time, won't be able because the demands are going high. So what about we set aside your money for the foundation? My money does this. Any sensible woman will listen. Any sensible sister will listen.
Okay.
Yes.
Mr. C, what does provision look like in today's economy? Because I'm thinking kuti pazvakanzi murume wako ndiya wakuya handisi tairayirwa namadzitete kana kuti anaamai vedu kana anambuya vedu vaibva vanzi iwewe wakuenda kwaengi ndokwaukunoroorwa handi wakwauya naye munhu wako pano iwewe unomubikira ugomuwachira ugomuitira zvese iye paanenge adzoka kubasa otambira zvaenda baba naye. So then I think maybe madzimai wangasira kunyatsoshanda mabasa angasira wanda pasati pachawo magender policy and things like that. What does it like? What does it look like? What does that picture look like in today's modern economy and marriage?
All right. I think Apostle Joe Daniels has laid a little bit of a foundation there in that, first and foremost, for our sisters to follow, there has to be a vision. There has to be a mission. The Bible tells us, I believe it's in the book of Habakkuk, which says, write the vision and make it plain so that the heralds may run with it, or those that can run with it. So ultimately, at the end of the day, many men are getting to the position whereby the vision is not clear. It hasn't been written down. It hasn't been spelled out. Conflicts. So the provision starts with the vision and the mission. The next level of provision is this. Because women are empowered, women have now got financial means and capabilities. We have to be able to lay out plans. Within my church or within our ministry, we've got what is called a strategic life plan. What is your strategic life plan? Papi in the next 1, 2, 5, 10, 20 years.
Yep.
Okay.
So you lay it out in that particular regard, and then you'll be able to see that provision come. Now, I must also hasten to say, there's a particular saying which says, it's a woman's world. Some say it's a man's world.
It is a man's world. That's what we know.
It has progressed to become a woman's world. Why? Because women are now empowered. Women are now able to do what they couldn't do before.
Yeah.
And so they are progressing. They are building businesses. They are becoming more and more empowered financially. So guess what? A lot of men are being left behind. And I think I spoke about this last week, and I said the lack of mentorship. So they're not able to step up to when sisters come in the room and they show all of this expanse, this wealth, this ability to create and move forward financially.
Cool stuff.
Right? I quite like that.
Okay.
Because I think the gentlemen are onto something. What I pick from Vakuna Apostle, it's the communication of the vision. So half the time we just get into these marriages and just expect that it's going to be automatic. Baba vachauya nenyama kana kuti vachabhadhara rent, and the communication of that vision is not spoken about. So even nyaya yekusubmita zvavataura kuti to a vision, ndinogona kuita mari, hapana chakashata ndikatouya nemari ndikatosvika ndikati kuna baba, as long as baba vane vision iri clear. Problem
Right.
sisters edu ari comment section ndeyekuti ndonzi shanda ouya nemari
Baba havana vision.
Inoperera kudoro.
Kana kuti yakutochengeta vamwe maini patoita kunge pane surplus ipo pasina. So you find with that gap iyoyo communication is what I like you gentlemen have just explained, kuti we are committing to the family's vision. What do we want to do? Saka kachiro tikasvika pakuti bebe hapana, tese mumba hatina, akona kuti mai vane $1,000 pasipiro baba havana. But kana communicate what this is what we do in this home, then things should work well. Because I think the questions were about
yes, that was it. And I think one of the things, and I know that Apostle, these are some of the issues, and Mr. C, we want you to help us with. One of the things that our sisters were talking about, foundation provision, and whose responsibility is it, and what does it look like in the modern marriage? But the question we really wanted to answer was taita vasikana vari kuti vari kunyimwa mari mudzimba. Saka vasikana vari kunyimwa mari mudzimba ava manje. Imwe yacho vanenge vatori ndiwo futi vavainayo because vakandorairwa kumabridal shower nekupi kunzi baba vanorespectwa. Unouya nezvawabva nazvo basi. Wosvika kuti ndo zvataita izvo. Vozoti chindipoka ndinoda kulewa wig yangu plus ndoda kuchinjawo zvakati. Kunzi ayo trumbotanga takadai. So we are going for a short break, gentlemen. I gave you something to think about. When we come back, we want to answer that. What will be happening there? Is it control? Is it abuse? Chii chinenge chichiitika ipapo pakuti vasikana vanozonyimwa mari. Ipi responsibility yani kuti mari yacho izobudiswa. So we'll be right back straight after the following messages. And we're back. Guys, the conversations we're having off mic. It's gonna be lit and hot. You need to just fasten. Nyatsogarisika. Those are my sisters. And I got to kumabasa msabatwe. Those are my sisters. I just like but also just tag a sister. And please comment in the comment section. We like to see your questions. We like to see your comments. And we like to see your contributions. Back with Apostle Joe Daniels, together with Mr. C, just to find out. Saka tasira muvunzo pa nyadze kunyimwa mari. Tatawa nyadze kuti provision chi. Tikati panofanira kuita vision. Anditika. Then ndovatazooti isusu. Chiri kuita kuti vanhu vazonyimwa mari mumba masisters akacomplaina. Is it about capacity kana kuti willingness yababa? Zvinofanira kumbofamba sei pamafinances?
So sister ndo vanenge vapa baba mari.
Vauyaka anditi akushanda
Surrender mari.
Obva vati baba ndauya.
Yeah, I think nyaya iripo Yvonne, it's a foundational problem. Ngatisada kutanga kutaritsira problem. Structure yakura. Kanzo rino yachiparadza both foundation haina kuti wamusha. The building won't stand. So at the end of the day, iwewe pawakadanana nebenzi rakadaro.
Here we go.
I mean, let's call it as it is.
He went in
You ndo my sister asingateereri veve. Because under mentorship, like what Mr. C said, you be guided kuti usaroorwa nemunhu waine brain shoma kufura dzako. A sister should always be married to someone who's smarter than her. You see that? So that person can put up a framework on what needs to be done in the marriage. Saka nyaya yapo ya conflict wasarenda mari, but munhu uyu you are smarter than that person. So pa kushandisa mari apo. Because inharo dzekuti handikupi mari because ndinoida iwoso. But zvakada kuita nazvo hazvimake sense kwauri.
Yes.
So uri kuona kuti patone conflict because the Bible says husbands be teachers of your wives at home. That already shows you the president set. Kuti a husband must know better. Must be smarter, capable of being a leader. Anoona kuziva kuti apa ngatidai. And if, like what we're talking about in the first segment, that if the vision is properly laid, sister hambaiti problem kunyimwa mari yewife. Because there's something important that we are doing. But wazona mari yako yakuenda manje, patune problem. So it's a foundational problem. Katigareta roorwa nevanhu vanenge vanoti
Apostle, what I get that, and it's tough love yakanaka zvekuti atikudzangana sana kuti utarisa akabrain zake. But guys, there's people that change when you get into marriage. Or there's people who just because what I'm seeing is that their financial intimacy is not is per same page or financial understanding because kwandiri mari chi kwaari chi chinonzi luxury chi chinonzi basic chi handiti mukuona panobva paita issue saka masisters edu ari kuzoti ndini futi ndashanda
ndafonyoka mzana kuti ndiwane mari. All right, so first and foremost, I think for any normal man, I'll start speaking from the brother side before I come to the sisters. For any normal man, I would like to have a beautiful woman in my house. Right? So I have to understand that for my wife to remain beautiful, she must be beautified. Right? Simple example, when we go and look at in the book of Esther and we look at the story around that one. First and foremost, there was Queen Vashti. Beautiful, according to the scriptures. I mean, if you even just begin to imagine, according to the scriptures, this woman was beautiful. But she was beautified because the king provided absolutely everything for her to be beautified. Now, above all, last week, what we call love is respect. When she failed to respect the king out of the palace. Now Esther comes in. Similarly so, Kudonzi, Esther dressed according to what the king liked. But there was actually a choice for it. Choice of dresses, choice of makeup. And she had to be bathed in oils for over months. Could akwanisa mira before the king. So any normal man, unofana utoza kuti mukadzi wako anoda weave, anoda makeup, she needs a good dress, and so on and so forth. So when the finances do also come in the house, and let's just say for this particular discussion, you should be able to set aside that money for your woman to be beautified. As Apostle Daniel said, I do advise you, sisters, you are able to see some of these red flags even while still dating.
Thank you.
If there's no appreciation for how you beautify yourself, it's a red flag of what's going to happen when you get in.
So question, Yvonne, for Apostle. now that you've said this, all right, inini ndofunga ndakaresha unenge waresha kuona
resha
wapinda
sarudzo.
waresha sarudzo handiti tatopinda baba vandiri kutovapa mari
Yes.
handiti haichadzoki. So how is my sister supposed to respond to this? Do I stop giving him the money? Really, do I confront? What is it? Because that's more conflict.
Yeah, pani, that's trouble in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got a choice. Because in fact, today, there are marriages that are breaking up, not because of issues to do with infidelity,
Yeah.
but financial issues.
Yes.
I know a couple, yekuti murume airamba achinotora zvikwereti, but aizonobhadhara ndiani?
Mukadzi.
Yeah,
Guys.
she's fixing.
You see that? So sometimes your peace comes first.
Okay.
Sometimes your peace comes first. Through the assessment of elders, wise people can be advised on what to do. Either you leave
Okay.
the marriage, or you have to understand the pharaoh you live with. You see, wait and set aside kachikwama kako paside. You see that? You have to be smart. You have to be very smart. Yeah.
Hanzi vigai kai kufungoza mama baba vati havana zvanotenga mabhuku acho
Exactly.
ko mama vaipurisa
Exactly.
sei. So I
Yeah.
sort of hope that our sisters
Yeah.
vari kuita machallenges iwayo mabatsirika. From a counseling perspective, I'd say before we throw the marriage in the bin, let's look at it holistically. What else is wrong with this marriage? Ingori nyaya iyoyo chete here. Tisati tazoenda kumasofa kwana apostle nana pastor kunoti aina chada nditsvagirei or things like that. Ngatione kuti can we discuss and reach a sort of agreement on how sometimes, you know, when we are patinenge tichinetsana paipe if we're in the thick of things tisingazoone, you know, from a holistic kana kuti nechepadenga in area of view of things. Saka munhu anogona kutokubatsirai kuti aiwa zvauri kuti zviri important kwaari asi kuzvinzwisisa. Saka nhasi toda kumudzidzisa kuti musoro wako wakakosha. Kana kuti toda kumunzwisisa kuti baba ndimi munofiwela mota yemudzimai wenyu, haafaniri kutambudzika kuzotsvaga mari yefiwo akupai futi imi mari yacho. That sort of thing. So I'd suggest we do a bit of some conflict resolution before we leave issue yemari iyi. Paita masisters, because I know kuti nyari yavo inocome with our other issue. Pane masisters ndainyora pasi zvinhu zvamakataura. Pane vaiti ivo murume wangu akandigadzika kare nehama dzake achiti because handisi kuenda kubasa iwe ndiuri kuprovide hausi kundirespecta. So I want to help sisters panyaya dzemafinances idzodzi. What makes a man feel respected even when he can't fully provide financially? Mari itoripo zveshuwa ndini ndinayo iye haana kana kuti ane shoma. Then paipe panichazotaura kuti so I'm going to go out with my girls ndobva ndatonza amai amudaro ndobva ndapata imari yangu. Vari kufanira kuitwa seya
Izvo.
saka ndiyena ari kutanga.
As usual, I'm sitting next to you.
Okay.
So,
taurai idzidzi.
so the thing is this. Ukatona zvatodaro, pane zvauri kuita. Zvisiri right. Any person in authority is very sensitive to disrespect, irregardless of their space.
I like
Right?
that.
Munhu wese ari muauthority anokurumidza kupika kuti ndadheererwa kana ndajairirwa.
Okay.
Munhu wese.
All right.
So being a husband is a functional position of authority. Saka ukatonzwa ataura kuti it means the laws of power never make your leader feel inferior. Always offer them the superiority that they deserve. So the first thing, I'm bouncing with my friends or with your sisters, whatever, without really finding out from the provider of the vision if what you want to do is compatible with the vision, and don't get permission and approval from your leader, you are treated as a rebel. You become Boko Haram. Boko Haram of the...
And that
Which
is where
we shall
conflict
end.
rises.
Of course.
And conflict rises. Just to add a little bit on that as well. Look, at the end of the day, money does not make you the head of the house.
True.
The head of the house still remains the husband. And he has been given the assignment and the authority to be the head of the house by God. Just like the Apostle Paul went on to say, follow me as I follow Christ. The head of Paul, Christ. He had to follow his head. And Imimi as the church, follow me, Apostle Paul, as I am following him. So ultimately, what I am encouraging sisters to do and to really understand is to give the man his place. When you give the man his place, he understands that he's got a responsibility. Because every leader has got a responsibility. You have to look after your home, you have to look after your wife, your children, and everything which is necessary functioning. Regardless of the fact that he doesn't have the finances, he should have the managing capabilities in order to make that home work.
Saka, ndichiuya kwauri nyari neissue yakuda kubvunza apostle. Saka tiri kuti here isusu kutongove nemari yakawanda kumudarika idisrespect. Because pane zvimwe zvandokwanisa kuzozviitira kandisina kuzokukumbirai. Zvinoita here mani? Decide kuti hembe
Because money has to deny.
You see what I'm saying? What are we saying? Because ndikufunga kuti kana inenge isiri equal ka scale iyi. Because aisiri yopfungwa yaMwari ndizvo according to the Bible. That's it. Yatilta ka maybe nekuda kwema circumstances kana nema opportunities. Pamwe avhurikira kwandiri more. Anditi. Saka takufanira kutoitreat as a special case nyaya iyi. I should be mindful of the tone at all times. Can even ndichokumbira kuenda somewhere because ndine mari yakawanda. Is that what we're now saying?
Yeah, because money amplifies who you are.
100%.
Money amplifies who you are. It's never about the money. It's about your character. Yeah.
Matauriro, I will know it. Show whether you said it in respect or disrespect.
Yeah.
So there's Njambo and Dani girls. Or, you know what, Mama? Ndanchikumbira. Kuti ndimboenda negirls. We want to go out, whatever, have some drinks, lunch and whatever. We'll be back by around about 10.
No, you can't go.
Eh.
We've got other things that we need to do.
That
Apa chikwama ndinacho.
You can't go.
Ndotogara. Moto
Go.
ndotokwindi mwari.
Yeah.
Because apa manje, most ladies, most sisters, the problem is they want to shift the blame to the fact that vari kubata mari yakawanda. What saka boss ndikubata mari yakawanda. Ari kunidzwira godo. That's why ari kundidai. Without really looking at where the problem is coming from. It's always the character. Before you get married, a man is attracted to you because of your beauty. But when you get married, what attracts him changes. It's no longer your skin tones. It's no longer your complexion, your hairstyle. It's now the character. You see that? So you can attract a man through your beauty, but you keep a man through your character.
Okay.
You see that?
All
So
right.
it's never about the money.
I hear you. Sisters, ndofuna mazvinzwira kuti vana baba vari kuti chii panyaya dzemari yakati wandei kudarika yavo. Saka ini ndofuna chandangonzwa apa inyaya yekuti the core of the marriage must not change. Because paita wave yemari yakawanda, because pachaita futi wave yemari shoma kind of things like that. It should remain the fundamentals of what brought you together and the dynamics thereof in your home must remain steadfast. Money or no money. Nyari the men are here. What else? What were you itching to ask him?
Finance ndatotega chimwese toda imwe episode. Guys, the things that we are going through, Zangati one day, I was actually with a bunch of ladies last week. And these ladies are in leadership positions. Where kumabasa uku tunochinjirwa motikari takudriver marapta. But they benefits kumba. Saka there's an issue kuti vanomuka vakatora maki erapta. Havana kutaura. Unoiposta sei? Aitira kutozoitaura mumwe musi ndoda kuti varume vambopinda mani toda kupinda chaimo because yainetsa nyaya iyi. So this is why we brought it to the table. But my other issue is there are times mu marriage room where imi varume vedu handiti you're going through stuff either kubasa kuri kunetsa unawo bosi wako vari kuti kushungurudza kana kuti basa rapera kana macircumstances anga proper up your ego change. And I can tell that you're going through a rough patch. Zvaungokaronga zvaro zvadakwa hazisi kuita and uri kuyiwira mumba pese paukagara paso pa uri kutura mafemu uri kutaridza kuti but zvawakaita zvacho either wakafuta zvekuti handigoni kana kuvhunza kana. So the question was, how does support look like to you? How do you interpret what I do to say I'm supporting you through your hard time? Because sometimes I see kuti do I step in? Sometimes iwo mari yanga taura yemuchikwama ndogona kutoibudisa ndikatovhara zviri kunetsa but ndinogona kuibudisa vanzi ungokamboigire or do I keep quiet and watch you? So the question is, how do you interpret what support is when you are going through a hard time, when you are down? What do you want your person to do?
Any subordinate, in this case the woman, because she's serving the leadership was the man, should know how to serve their leaders with wisdom. You must know when to speak, when not to speak. You see that? When to get involved, when not to get involved. It's so important. But however, when a man presents a house, a woman must turn it to become a home. Once it becomes a home, the man can trust the woman. The problem comes now, ndashare na nyari zvokundinetsa. Mangwana uzozvishandisa against inini.
Okay.
So I have to, you have to win my trust that you are truly supportive. Because there are women who, there are sisters who then take advantage of those down moments and use them as leverage during a conflict at some point. So the man tends to say, let me draw back and not speak. You see that, and die inside. Because the men,
Apostle, so we'll be back after this break, but Apostle, I'm not what does support look like to you when you are down? But Apostle, that know when to speak. When do I speak? We'll be right back straight after the following. And we're back. It's very hot in the studio. Tati Suso, what does support look like to you as a brother or as a man when you are in difficult times? Both do paper munozokuti nakurira kure kana do paper unozoti shut down kana do what and support wakudza ma sisters ako. Ina andisonzwiseni ndofana kudii kana wakaomerwa iwe.
All right. So, support generally to a man is to allow me to process what I'm going through. Now, remember, men are straight line, logical thinkers. We tend to put our blinkers on when we're going around things, right? So I'm focused on the issue, I'm focused on the problem, and sometimes it's even difficult to see the solution. It is called left and right. I think Apostle Daniels touched on it a little bit. First and foremost, being that offerer of wisdom. Now, it's difficult to find that timing. I'll be honest with you. It's very difficult because sometimes I just need that time alone. It may take a day. It may even take a week. I'm still trying to process all of these things coming upon me because I still shoulder the responsibility of being the leader of the home.
As you are taking your time alone, sorry, Mr. TC, what is my part in the equation?
At the moment, you are keeping silence, but also at the same time, wait. Also at the same time, being believers, being Christians, you can pray for your husband, because you're also supposed to pray for him, that he may receive wisdom, guidance, direction, and also for him to also open up to you, and that you may be able to give that wisdom and direction to him. And look, I don't know how to explain it because sometimes it so happens for us as men. Do you know what? I've thought of each and every way to try and solve this problem. I can't find a way through. How do you see it, babe? And at that point, wavurirwa door, which is mukana ngosirukwa na my sisters edo akawanda. That is when you come in and you offer that. So I will say, there is no 100% conclusive answer to say Gutanzi, Murumacha Vurika Pakati, when are we going to speak? I will tell you the truth. We are different. Others will open up. Others have got trust issues. Others may feel that you weaponize every time I'm weak. In a later argument or a discussion.
You know why sisters are raising this as an issue, Apostle?
Yeah.
It's because when you then now come back to me, in that way it will shut down because I'm wounded.
Yeah, because I'm going through stuff when you are going
because
through
I then
stuff.
tried to come and say, what is it? Shisha. And then you shut me out. And you were so cold. Now at your own time, now I'm the one who's cold. Can we not find, some sort of, because I tell my sisters, I talk complain out, wangu anomudhura zvanisana mbonzwisisa. Tine mabrothers futi anodaro kuti mai mwana anongomukati utongozwa kuti Shabani akadzura mwana pakashata. It's not a good thing.
Yeah.
How can we solve those things? Atingati isusu. Baba vanomboda kuwangu wambonyarara. Inini manje pepo ndikuvira-vira iwe. Kuti vaitwa sekubasa. Kundibhosivhoni here ndimachakoreka. Where you're processing, but you're not letting me in. How about just saying, babe,
I'm going through this.
that's my problems and now. But right now, they can be sort. I'll speak to you when I'm ready. Yeah, I'm in a box here.
I want to agree with Yvonne, Apostle Mchipinda. I think men then forget kuti tinoenda through a process when you would remember chimwe changu. Ndotofila zvorutofila kuti Shabani akatochinja mwana. Kana mndetu mamubatiki. Because you are so withdrawn and I can tell you are hurting. So I put you in box by. I'm going through my own emotions. By the time you're going to teach a sponge, you shock absorb. In the shock absorb.
Yeah, so I also think that probably being a sister, you must also locate someone whom your husband talks to easily. They flow with.
Okay.
Either the father or the sister. I think something's not right. He seems not to trust me to share whatever he's going through. Please figure out a way that you can pull out information out of him and find out chichirikuitika because I'm also worried. Arikutoonda sadza asikudya. Muri wangu asikudya. Nautofunga kuti pamwe ndiri kushaisha ubika or something. Saka you can always reach out to people that you feel, they can talk to him so that he opens up.
Okay.
But the idea kuti hanzi ngaitopena pataurwa paiwo kuti men are different. There is no specific formula.
That's it. And I think the more you press, sister, the more you say, talk to me, the more damage you're actually doing. So I think maybe let's pick it up tione kuti zvakamira sei. Isusu manje semadzimai tikange tadumbirwa chaizvo nehasha. Tanetsana nanyari kana kuti mhere zvandaitwa kufanirwa nati. Indiswa kutotaura manje kuti avamujairira and ndina time yekuita shut down jimbo process. But this is how we are different. So there's another issue because we've got two more issues that we need to address or questions that sisters came with that we must help. Younger sisters, are you there? We appreciate you very much. As tiri kubatsirika even start up in my marriage acho. Saka vasikana vakavhunzwa. Vakati, how do you get a man? Remember, we're getting into the mind of a man. We're asking a man. How do you get a man to commit? Tadana na tazunit. And they will uchingonzi. Next year zvikaita bo. Next year next year. Anzi pamunhu vamwe vacho vari kutouya futi vachipfuura ndichitovasiya kuti zozonzi akaroora nhingi akadi indakamirira munhu wangu pana akasaura kuti ndane 9 years ndira nemukomana wangu hapana kana sign yetsvakirai kumba. What can they do? Is there anything that can be done to force his hand into marriage? No, I'm joking. But to sort of encourage him.
Kana to add on to that, pane ma-green flags anotaridza kuti takuenda kudhuze necommitment. How do we know? Takuenda kudhuze necommitment kana kuti bhaza vako. I don't know because inenge ichimboita kunge iri normal routine but time ichitoita. And for us women time ine ichitofamba.
So zvinodependa. You are in the relationship for marriage.
Yes.
Is he in the relationship for marriage?
Right.
Right.
Or is in the relationship for fun?
Apaita mindu.
So unoona tachaona but sisa mudzimai pikawiri. But inoona kupakaviri. Zvisingaitita sei?
Uri kufanira kutomboziya.
Iwo utsvaga marriage. Saka marriage ina calculation yemakore. Ndozotanga urorwa wane 35 years. Pamwe last born nozopera wane 90 years. Wakunetsa vanhu vana kuchengetwa nedzimwe hama dzingakwanisa kuti vanhu varundise vakadaro. So there's need for calculation. So yokuona kuti munhu wako hazi serious kana wasiya. Asi kana uri iwe une problem, that's when you can do something about it. You see. So that's a tricky situation. Are you the problem or he is the problem? If he is the problem, walk away. There's a guy waiting for you. If you are the problem, when a man is murume kana akuda kuroora anotarisa kuona kuti how responsible how are you are responsible to what degree because I'm bringing you into my life to help you so totarisa zvinhu zvakawanda kuti saka unofanira kurakidzawo ma-green flags murongoramba vaitora ma-red flags rakidza ma-green flags kuti namti I'm ripe and red I'm ripe and ready you know if I get into your life will be better with me by your side
100% and I agree with that so within our world as men let us just let you in sisters within our world pane musikana anooneka kuti uyu is a trophy uyu is a wife
Trophy is what? Is anaonekwa kwamba naye?
Ndo ataurwa na Apostle John. I'll date ndodarika, put you in my cabinet and show my boys kuti ndakadarika nepo.
Ouch.
And a lot of that comes as a result of how you present yourself each and every time within that relationship. Those are truly my green flags. The way that a woman carries herself, anoratidza kuti uyu mukadzi.
Zvinokupa pressure.
Kune musikana nemukadzi. And kana tapinda within that zone, ndopaona even iye muface wacho akutoenda akutonoudza shamwari dzake kuti guys I've found the one. When I found mine,
right.
I'll give you an example.
Oh yes, tell us.
When I found mine, I'll tell you the truth. I dated and asked out so many girls. Anditiga. But uchito nyatsoona kuti panapa kapa hakuna kwatiri kuenda. All it is just about we're having fun, no future, no plan. Ndezvongodya mari nekudii. Then I had to come back, sit down and say, Mari, ndaenda through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is not taking me anywhere. I was making the choice. Now you help me make the choice. It didn't take time. Midweek service, right? She was the first one to arrive.
No, and
then
you said, what?
I was like, she's been serving here for years. She was always there, but I hadn't seen her. Why? Because it was only up until God opened my eyes to see the woman. Saka, my sisters, encourage I. Dress like, talk like, act like, carry like how you want to be viewed. If you want to be viewed as somebody anozouya achita a house into a home, dress, act, there's a classical way or there's a quality way of dressing that can still make you look beautiful without revealing everything that you have.
Naimi.
Saka inini confusion. Because still never stand number 2K.
You see what I mean? Guys, my belly button so talk about things like that. And I agree well and good. Vana mwana kutofika sura ndakaita nasi ndikuta kunge munhu wekunhingirira. Kwakwa. Handiti. But ugotoshaya. Saka ndinoda kuziya inini kuti hakuna here vakomana vari ngoriko zvavari kutongotambisa nguva yevana vevanhu. Vanotorooreka vacho vana vevanhu.
100%. Kuve variko vanotambisa nguva. Vagara varitoriko. It's just like in a jungle. Makava ariko, maina ariko, kune malions. Vanhu varitoriko vanotambisa nguva. I always say this concerning ladies and to all of our sisters. Women have got a wonderful capability of seeing a guy from afar. Kuti ari kuuya. They are coming for me. Ari kuda kuuya uzondi ask out. Already assessment ngaitotanga munhu asati atosvika padhuze. Whether it's consultation with friends, asking around, or you asking for discernment kuti unyatsoona kuti munhu uyu chaari kunyatsouya akananga chii. Ari kudei pandiri. Anditi, do they actually want something chinoenda mberi kana kuti ndezvekutongopedzerana ipapo tobva taenda kumberi? You know what I'm saying? Iye woenda kwake, ndoenda kwangu. So women, you have to, for example, if you're a believer, because I have to speak on both sides. If you're a believer, you have to pray for discernment.
Okay.
Munhu uya achitongotanga kusvika, discern the kind of man that he is, discern what he wants to do with you going forward. Pamuri vamwewo vasikana who may not believe in religion and things like that, kuti tingobatsirana tingokudzai pachena. Makava ariko kunzeo, so you have to be careful. Within your dating and your relationship, ask the right questions each and every time. Don't just go there and eat pizza in musingavunzani mvunzo. Be serious.
Questions.
Ask the important questions.
And also on that,
The time frame,
Time frame,
the idea of dress is tricky
Yeah.
because there are people who hide in the dressing. Yeah, but mukati the ravenji, the raven wolf.
Oh yeah.
They are dressing like they want to get married. Tsiga ndikurore, carrying themselves the same way. Akwani ma, yeah, iva.
Yeah.
I don't know to act that role very well.
Yeah.
But I think the key point, like he said, Mr. C, discernment. Discernment means you see beyond the dressing.
Yeah.
You see beyond the way a person carries themselves.
Yeah.
You see that? Because the Bible even talks of those who appear to be angels of light, yet they are not.
Okay.
So, part tricky generation, because not afara kunzoka unyazoti zvinhu zvekutsvagwa muchechi. Ouya muchechi. Otojoina praise and worship. But they are not who they say they are.
Yeah.
So due diligence is needed in terms of consulting people and discernment, especially discernment. Getting to know the personality of a person beyond how you look at them.
Yes. So thank you. As we close off nyaya itakuda kuenda kunyaya imwe yakazirizwa nema sisters, our final issue, which has to do with childbearing. So bear with us a little bit. I just wanted to ask a question inogona kunge ine vasikana vechidiki, my sisters that to keep eye. Because pane vamwe vaitonyora I'm now 29, I'm now 31. Umwe achiti ndichiriwo kuma 24. How long must I wait?
Okay.
So varume imimi, because tukubvunza mune time frame.
What's the time frame? When do I jump ship?
You know what I mean? Like yekuti kana tachovha 3 years.
There's not time, Jay.
Hazvina.
Yvonne, more run in one day.
Kove ma 9 years vari vaitaura mukomiti.
9 years is not dependent, because I once did a clip on that where I was talking about kuti iwe unogara ku-UK indogara ku-Zimbabwe totaura pafoni every day for, I mean, once a week or once a month for 5 minutes. Tinongoedha ma 5 minutes aya for 9 years. Tobva taona kuti takangodanana just for 1 week. So makore haasi anodetermina kuti zvakuita the quality time we're spending together, because taitaura 2 minutes kana kuti unoshanda kuchibasa kuti most of the time zvinenge uri kuro tichionana kana ka 1 kana ka 2 moti taane 9 years. Hamuna 9 years mune 2 weeks.
Okay.
So it's the time you meet, the quality time you meet, and the things you do during that time, and also the reference, because ukareferwa naapostle munhu ibo undomirire kana Mr. C vakudza kuti no 1 week mune mato.
So what I'm getting for you younger sisters is that know your story.
Yeah.
Like not to know what you are looking for first in a relationship before you then put a timeline, a time tag. Omonkomona kuba munotodanana and apana chamutombotadzirana. Atori bo akato aprovomba kwenyu. But pamwe atorina mari yacho. Achirongotira kuunganidza. Yari kwana ngoita hand to mouth. Kana kuti ane zvaachiri kuda kumboona and things like that. Saka iwewo manje uchagarira izvozvo kuti ane zvaada kuona. Iwe uri kumbodei. Ndomba rinobvaita issue. Anyway, childbearing in marriage. Takaibvunzwa nemasista akati wandei vakauya vamwe kuma-DMs vamwe vakadii. Nyaya yacho iri two-pronged. Pane vaibvunza vachiti irresponsibility yaani kumumba kuti vana vakwana. Pane mumwe aiti ndakarambirwa mwana wangu wechi6. Ndokubuda kwaakaita murume wacho mumba ndokutoenda kachose. So takazenge takubvunzana zvedu tatega zviri kuti pakati 1 2 3 4 5 maybe anangovocalize, but pesa apa ndofunga aitozvifila kuti nine zvavana vakaona kuti achada. But wechi6 was the final straw.
Akarongedza mabhegi.
Akati achada ndobva aenda. Saka inoda kuti itaurwe nyaya iyoyo kuti muchildbearing ndiani anoti zvakwana. Pamwe baba vari kuda kutsvaga mwana musikana, vane vakomana chete. Ozonzonza vaita chi? Vaita kusaidi. Apa uyo ari kuti inini ndaita munyama dzangu ndiri kunyatsonzwa kuti handichakwanisi kuita mwana. Isusu pain yekuleba titoiziva. Tisakanoiona. Munobva tati handichadi. Pari kuita conflict ipapo panhamba yevana. Panofambiswa sei? Tichizoprepare nyaya yefertility neinfertility. Vasikana vakataura vakati panonoka kuita mwana sesusu vamwe vane ma7 years ma9 years unozobvunzwa kuti problem ndiwe akanoita mwana samwe kana kuti ari kutsvaga. Tibatsireyo totangira neipapa penhamba yevana.
Baba ndinodecide nhamba yevana.
Baba.
Because ndova nevision. Saka ndinotaura ndorava na 12. But ukaona kurambirwa naamai zvakutorakidza macracks in terms of leadership. Because madzimai vanaona kuti vana vamurama muri kumbotadza kubhadharira school fees. mari dzekutomboti uyu hatimuchengetedzi kuramba uyu mwana wetu tamuendesa kwatete uyu tamuendesa kwanhingiri ndopanotangira resistance kusati ati vakadzi they submit not to a man but to the vision of the man.
Alright.
So ukaonawo kurambirwa there's something wrong with your leadership apart from all these other circumstances that will come.
Usipozitowana health nezvizvi.
Science can also say kuti munhu achakwanisa kuramba achiita but as long as it is possible aiwa you came, the Bible says the woman was created for the man. Ngaaramba achingozvara chete.
All right. Okay, so I have a slightly, it's slightly different.
All right.
But not entirely.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, I would like to believe, as the head of the house, let's have the conversation with my helpmeet. Kuti tiri kuda kusvika papi. Handiti? And we discuss numbers. I'll give an example. When I came in, that I didn't look at 3, no, but look at Madam Maitoti, I nigga wonder boza faran. And then we negotiated, we discussed. Then Madam Maitoti, all right, fine. Let's see how it goes. Number 1, bo. Number 2, because remember, as he said, the man is the provision. Vision. Also, no, with the quality of life that I want to give my children, so we then agreed and so I would take it that a discussion has to happen within the home. Sisters, you have to also be involved in this discussion and say, but I know you, do you know what? Looking at health-wise, looking at the various complications there are more and more miscarriages happening these days. There are more and more times that we're hearing kuti ningirikili angakatakura pregnancy 6 months zvaramba 7 months zvaramba. We are a survivor, my wife and I, we're a survivor of 2 miscarriages, consecutive on the bounce. And before we got our second child. So I know it's okay. It's okay. I said that as the head of the house, I don't want to put her through more pain. Emotionally, psychologically, and even physically, because it takes a toll to bear children. So I think it's very important that that discussion is had between you two. You agree, and then you move ahead with that plan.
Yes. So as we're just about to close off, well and good, Mr. C, what you just said. The discussion is being had, but there's no agreement. How do I help my man understand that at this point I can't anymore? Do it as saying, or how do I make him understand that I am trying to have the children and I was kutobatika, and it seems to sort of have a face of a woman kana mbereko yaramba. My sisters are kuita sleepless nights. Ne mashoko anenge achitaura. Pamwe pachona hasiri ari kutaura, pamwe anenge bebe achaita. But mai vake obvowe kana watete obvowe. But kona nasi. Iye otongoita leta kuti kanenge kalafu obvofila kuti anondisupport adi ngowadzo achaita. That sort of thing. How can you?
Yeah, background yanambotaura it is very important. Because ukaroora munhu asina kudzidza iwe wakadzidza hatiri kunyeperana zvinogona kuita problem. Because mutogona kuudzana kuti right munyengerera aende kwadoctor atsanangura nadoctor. There are men who are so adamant. Kwachiremba kwacho hadi kuita sei? Pamwe ndiane low sperm count. You get what I'm saying? Kuti atsanangura kunzi aiwa unobudisa X chromosome uyu wai saka ndione problem. Haatudi uzvinzwa because of the background yekwakaita sei. So let's make it right the first time. Kana utori situation iyoyo, you really need elders and the right people to intervene. Because hadzisi nyaya dzese dzekuti you are gonna win your husband. Ndambotaura kuti chinhu chinongonzi authority. Like I like what he said kuti indakazongovhuma kuti madam zvakwana. But pautanga kutaura kuti takataurirana. But pekupedzisira wakazoti muri kuzvoona. So it's the kind of men that she married that loops her in to such conversations. But there are some men who say inini ndini ndarapana ndoda vana 7. As long as health yako ichibvumiza ndoda vana 7. So sisters must come into marriages expecting this. But unostada munhu wako uchiri murelationship kuti munhu uyu anopota anokopta in here pama conversations ane chekuita nema finances ane chekuita nevana because unomurora munhu atone background taura kuti mumhuri medu isusu
Atite 8 and less than.
mukadzi acontribute panyaya dzine chekuita nekuti muchaita vana vangani.
Acculturization is what I'll just add on top of it. Acculturization within African culture, mukadzi haatofaniri kutosumudza muromo when it comes to these issues. Which is something that I say kuti it has to be modernized nesu isusu tichiona kuti tiri kufamba tichienda kupi, because we have men that are so acculturized to the point whereby they don't see reason. Pese pari kuitika miscarriage, your wife is deteriorating in health.
Yes.
Ticharamba
I actually know of a couple yekuti airwara musikana uyu akavhurika operation and things like that. And so I no, but the men wouldn't touch anything or do anything, you know. And then she's then voiced that, but no, I don't quite understand that, you know. And I think that maybe our brothers, it's important for you to support your wife through that process. My sisters, I hope we did justice to the matters that were at hand. We looked at 5 critical issues that we said, you know what, let's bring back the men in studio and talk about these issues. And we are hoping that you can write in the comment section. You can also text us on 0784 622 999. And of course, you can let us know what help you need in some of the issues that you want for us
One last
to talk
question
about.
before you go. One last question for the men. I have to ask this because I was asked to ask this. And Varu, maybe not Karamshpama presidents, you always give women flowers. And we like flowers. And what's your equivalent? What should we get you?
Socks, tie. I got them.
We always get socks and ties. Do you like socks and ties?
G-Wagon. A man just gives, everybody gives according to their capacity. Period. Kana yachizvichengetera mafoni ane ndande. Expect phone inechi ine. No man can love you beyond they love themselves.
Wow.
Okay. It
is on that note that we leave this discussion this week. We'll definitely see you next time. We are Sisters Keepers. Bye.